Hey, welcome back, friends. I'm Michaela, and I'll be your yoga teacher for today. This is an all levels yoga class. I do recommend that you have blocks as well as a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, then just get like a big blanket and just roll it up, kind of like a burrito or a sausage, about this size, and just have it sitting off to the side. We'll be finishing off this class with a reclined posture, and so it's not necessary, but it just really kind of helps make it a little juicier. So to begin, we'll start off today on our knees. So settle in on your knees. You can have your toes curled up underneath you if you want to sit on them, if you want toe sit, otherwise, or a toe stretch. Otherwise, you can just be seated on the tops of your feet. Close off the eyes and bring your hands together in prayer in front of your heart. And take one deep cleansing breath in to begin this practice. And take a moment to set an intention, or maybe pick a word that you would like for your practice and for what you want your practice to mean today. And exhale your hands down. Walk them in front of you. Walk your knees back and sink your seat to your heels for an extended child's pose. Allow the knees to widen and create space for the torso to rest. And create space for the belly for full deep breaths. Inhale, rise to tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Inhale your left arm high to the sky. And exhale, thread it beneath your right arm, underneath your armpit. So we have this upper body twist, and our hips are stacked over our knees still. Full breath here. And take your right hand back towards your face. Inhale, unwind, and exhale. And your left hand down to the mat. Inhale your right hand this time. And exhale, thread it underneath your left arm. Bring your right shoulder to the ground in your right ear. You can walk your top hand out. Take a deep breath. And walk your top hand in. Inhale, right hand up. And exhale, and right hand down. Roll through some cat and cow. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Navel into spine. Really knit your abs and ribs together. Inhale once more. Just rolling through each vertebra. And finding stillness in tabletop. Roll back onto the palm, so like the base of your palm, the butt of your palm, and lift your fingertips, spread them wide. So all 10 fingertips are spread and engaged. And lower your fingertips back onto the mat. And engage the tips of your fingers, the pads of your fingers. Curl your toes under. Bend the elbows. Wrap them in. So we're bending the elbows out to the sides, and when we wrap them in, we engage our triceps and our teres and lats in this area. Curl your toes under and lift your hips up and back. Keep your knees super bent and just stay here engaging your triceps, lats. Hi, sweetie. I'm just filming, okay? We go find Dad? Straighten through one leg and then the other. Bend into one knee. Bend into the other one. And then both heels on the mat. See if you can maintain what's called turbo dog, where we wrap our triceps in. Beautiful. Inhale, rock forward, find plank pose. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg. High. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Exhale, shift the knee forward. Weight is transferred into your hands, knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Drop your back knee down for low lunge. Option to take blocks on either side. Knit the ribs in, chest is forward, shoulder blades down the back. Press your weight into your toes and shift your hips back. Take your blocks with you. Straighten your front leg. Come onto the heel. So we're flexing through our ankle. And flexing our ankle, bringing our toes back towards our face. So this is going to increase the stretch here. So if this is too much, then just let it go. If this is enough, by all means, then stay here. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Shift the weight forward, come back to a low lunge. Shift the hips back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, shift the hips forward. Plant the hands, left hand on the mat, right hand on your knee. Have a little twist. Maybe bring your right hand up overhead for a lunge twist. Press like crazy through your back toes. Exhale, plant the hand. Step your right foot back. Bend your knees down, set your knees down on the mat. Bend the elbows. We'll take your chest to the ground. So knees, chest, chin. And now we will press through with our toes and our hands and lift the chest through the hands. Release all 10 toes on the ground and exhale down. Roll your shoulder blades down and back. Inhale, lift the chest. Cobra. Exhale. All 10 toenails pressing into the mat. Engage your quads, your kneecaps. Lift, roll your shoulder blades down. Press the hands into the mat. Bhujagasana, Cobra. And exhale. Bend through the knees, come through tabletop, and shift the hips back. For Balasana, child's pose. Inhale up through tabletop. Curl the toes and lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Exhale, shift your weight forward into your hands, knee into nose, tiger curl. Hold. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, step your left foot through. Drop your back knee down, low lunge. Hands on either side, on blocks. Press your big toe into the mat. So we're engaging our quads. We're engaging our lower pelvis. Knitting the ribs in, firming up the abs. Shoulder blades down and back. Chest is forward, heart lifts. Press your weight into your foot, shift your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. So you want to keep our hips square to the front of our mat. We don't want to shift to one side or to the other. So that's why blocks can be really helpful. They can help keep us steady and in better alignment. Inhale, maybe grow tall. And exhale, hinge forward at the waist a wee bit if you're looking for something deeper in the hamstrings. Inhale, shift forward, low lunge. Dip into that right psoas. Press your foot into the mat. Shift the hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. And shift forward once more. Curl your toes under. Lift up your back knee, right hand to the mat, and left hand lifts for a lunge twist. Exhale, left hand on the mat. Pick up your left foot, step it back for plank. Lower your knees. Bend the elbows, lower the chest, the chin, Ashtangasana. And now using your toes and your hands and your triceps to press you through. Lower all the way onto the mat. Belly flop asana, whatever you want to call it. Release all 10 toes on the ground. Take a cheek to the mat. Hands beneath the shoulders. Facing front, roll your shoulder blades down. Inhale, press the hands into the mat. Lift the chest, baby cobra. And exhale. Maybe take it a little wider this time. Or if that felt good to do a baby cobra, then stay there. And lower. And now one with your own breath. Inhaling, rise. Exhale. Lower. Hands under the shoulders. Lift the chest through tabletop. Slip the seat back to the heels for Balasana. Deep breath. Inhale through tabletop. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. And look forward at the space between your hands. Bend the knees and take a little hop forward. Uttanasana. Bend the elbows, or clasp opposite elbows rather. Bend the knees. And let your head hang heavy. And this ragdoll pose.
One of my favorite things to sort of envision while I'm in this pose is all the stuff that's rattling around inside my head that doesn't maybe really matter. Can just fall out and go onto the floor or someplace else than in my head. And anything that's not serving me can just tumble out here. So give a little sway, knock a few things loose, and find stillness. And release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips drop the spine. And I encourage you to keep your spine straight so we sort of have this double chin, this chin tuck as we half lift. And exhale. Lower. And inhale. Half lift, little double chin. Helps keep our spine straight and the energy, no broken energy lines. And exhale. Inhale, root to rise. Arms lift. And exhale. Hands down through heart center. We're going to take a tree pose or a variation of it. So I will turn to face you. Root through your right foot. Hands on the hips. And roll your shoulder blades back. Bend into the left knee. And when you feel rooted in the right foot, lift your left knee. Open it to the side. And place the sole of your foot on the inside of your thigh. And bring hands to heart center. This is very interesting for me. So I have recently injured my toe. And I'm exploring my yoga practice in a new way because of this limitation. So balancing and other poses are a little tricky at times. Slowly release your foot. Turn your knee to the front. And draw your foot down to the earth. Shake out whatever you need. And begin to root through your left foot. And when you feel rooted, draw your right knee up. Open to the side. And place the sole of your foot on the inside of your left thigh. Bring hands to prayer. And find something to gaze at and to hold your gaze on. So something that's not moving, and it will help you balance. Find a few easy breaths in and out. Slowly release your foot, turn your knee to the front, and step your right foot down. Well done. I didn't think I'd be able to do that. I surprised even myself. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, over to the left. Over to the right. Take one breath in our crescent side stretch. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, fold over your legs. Bend into the right knee, straighten your left leg. Twist your torso to the left and left hand on your sacrum. It's an IT band stretch. You'll feel it along here. Yes, it's always interesting how our injuries can limit us in some ways, but they also provide us an opportunity to maybe see things a little differently, or maybe to do something that we wouldn't normally do, because we have to. I was really disappointed when I got hurt, because I thought that I wouldn't be able to practice or do anything anymore. Bend into the left knee, straighten both legs, Uttanasana, just for a moment. And exhale, bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg. And we'll switch. Left hand to the mat, right hand to our sacrum. So sort of the beauty of the unexpected here is the lesson and the opportunity to try something a little different and to keep going, really, in spite of something not wanted, something that would normally be a hindrance. But perhaps I can use it to my advantage. And release your hands down to the mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, tuck the chin, long line of energy, crown of head to tailbone. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. And we'll take a vinyasa, rock forward on the toes, bend the elbows, chaturanga, up dog. Lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, just once. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Hands on the hips. And lift up the chest for high lunge. Inhale, arms high to the sky. Maybe come onto the toes if you're looking for a little challenge. Exhale, hands come down to the hips. Take a little half step in. Straighten your front leg. Both toes facing forward, both hips facing forward. We'll move into pyramid pose, another awesome pose to have a block. So have them handy. Inhale, our chest lifts, root the rise. And exhale, hinge forward at the waist. And slowly drop the chest down. Use blocks on either side. They're so handy. The different heights. So we want to pull our right hip back in space. Sometimes we have a tendency to allow it to come forward, and maybe we won't stretch as much then in our hamstring. So by plugging our hip back, we can assure that we get the full stretch. And use your blocks. Inhale. Take a halfway lift. Create a long line of energy in the spine. Exhale. Use your abs at your belt line to carry you down. Inhale. Halfway lift. Remove the blocks. Plant your hands. You'll have to roll your back foot, your left foot back just a little bit so we can come into plank pose because we shortened our stance for pyramid. Press our hands into the mat. Roll through our upper body so that we can create enough space to see if you can lift your foot off the mat. It's a bit tricky. Come into tiger curl. So we're really lifting our knee into our chest. Turn so our shin is parallel to the front of the mat. And then come and sit back down for pigeon. My favorite is to come resting onto my forearms and then to have a block to press my third eye into and to just close off the eyes a moment and breathe into this pose and into the right hip. Inhale, lift the chest, shift your block to the side for a moment, curl your back toes under, hands press firmly into the mat, lift the chest, lift the knee, little tiger curl, lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and slowly lower your right leg down to the mat. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, step your left foot through. Prepare for high lunge. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, arms up. Knit the ribs in. Maybe come onto the toes for a little bit of an extra challenge. Little shake. My glutes are like, girl, why? Hands come down to the hips, straighten through the front leg. A little half step in. Both toes pointing forward. Inhale. Spine is long. And exhale. Hinge forward. Hands come down to the mat. Or to blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale. Plug that left hip back in space. Remove your blocks from either side. Plant the hands, maybe bend into the knee. Roll back on your toes. I'm not able to do that on that foot. So roll back so we're in a runner's lunge position. Place the hands on the mat and press through so we can really roll into our upper shoulders. Lift that foot, tiger curl, hold. Turn so our shin is parallel to the front of the mat. And slowly lower all the way down. For pigeon on the second side. You know what to do. Hands or forearms down. And breathe. 5 deep breaths here. Inhale, begin to rise. Plant the hands, curl your toes under. See if you can lift into a little tiger curl. Inhale, left leg up and back. And slowly lower into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Look at the space between your hands. Bend your knees, take a little hop. And maybe you can slide through. I'm scared. I am so scared to land on my toe. Oh, who knew you could be so scared of a little tiny toe? But I am. All right, I don't need blocks. Moving into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. I was going to move sideways and show you. However, we're going to be moving into Sapta Baddha Konasana, an option to finish in that pose if you wish. So I recommend now that you kind of get the things that you would like for your reclined posture ready and nearby. Actually, if you have them handy, place it at the base of your spine. And blankets are awesome, so I highly recommend those. Extra points if it's fluffy. All right, soles of the feet together. Knees pressing down. Take a deep breath. So release your hands so they're just behind you or in line with your hips. And slowly lower yourself down onto your bolster. And if I hadn't put the blocks in, I would have, because I find I do have very open hips. Actually, it's not too bad. Okay, I take that back. Once upon a time, when I did this pose, I had a very difficult time doing Sapta Baddha Konasana because it felt like my hips were very open, but they weren't open enough, and it almost felt like it was just too much for my hips. It's like my knees were just dropping and there was nothing really supporting them. And so it was actually really helpful to have blocks on the lowest setting, just underneath the knees. And honestly, either or feel great today. I invite you to stay in this position for as long as you can, as long as you are able to, for up to 15 minutes. And when you're ready to move on with your day, just use your hands on either side and your elbows to walk yourself back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice. I hope it serves you well. And from my heart to yours, namaste.